for the Wendy Williams Show. Today, 3 outspoken panelists join Wendy for another edition of Hot Talk. Plus, here to reveal the truth about rumored marriage trouble, real-life hot topics, Tamar and Vince. And Wendy's got the latest juicy celebrity news. Now, here's Wendy.
End of another week, and that means it's time for another juicy round of Hot Talk. Joining me, we have actor and host of Shaq All-Star Comedy Jam Tour, Gary Owen, and relationship expert SiggyFlicker, as well as the host of the Jane Velez Mitchell Show on HLN, Jane Velez Mitchell. Okay. So now we're going to get started, panel. One of the biggest stories of the week continues to be Hurricane Sandy. Let us fill you in for just a moment. There are 4.5 million people still without power. The governors of both New York and New Jersey have declared transportation emergencies. Here in New York, the streets are still closed. This is very sad. Our Mayor Bloomberg here in New York has just announced that the New York City Marathon will still be run on Sunday. People are divided. Panelists, I want to know what you think, and we will start with you, Siggy, because you put your hand up like, yes, marathon.
I think that the New York Marathon should continue because it's a symbol of New York. New Yorkers are strong and resilient, and we need something, whenever something happens that's bad and a devastation like this, we need to pump up the city. And not only do we need to bring in the millions of dollars to the businesses, for the economy, we need to give the city hope right now because so many people are suffering. So I say run, run, and run.
Okay, Jane?
I say run. My mother needs it. My mother was evacuated. She lives right next door to the crane. She had to leave. She had to leave with her cat and her dogs. And she is suffering right now. For the people who are suffering, we've got to run. You made it here. I made it here. Your fabulous audience made it here. Don't hang up your sneakers. Let's do it. Let's show the world.
You know I've got an opinion, but first I want to hear Gary's.
You run the race, you finish it, and you don't stop there. You grab a slice, you go to the camera, you do the Gangnam Style. Like, this ain't nothing. It's 5K, baby. You ride it. You ride it.
Apparently, I'm the only one who's sane here on the panel because I say, Mayor Bloomberg, you are selfish for saying run the marathon. You know that this is your last term, so nobody can do anything. You're going to walk out gracefully. While people are running the marathon and grabbing glass cups of water as they run, there's people over in Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island who have no water, number one. Number two, looting in this city is about to be at an all-time high, and you want cops to protect a run route? 67% of marathoners, 67% of Wendy voters on our website say that the marathon should be canceled. And let me just say this. 33% say let them run. The marathon, if all runners come in town, and if it's in a perfect world, New York City stands to make about $350 million. Yes. That ain't going to happen where everybody's coming in town. The hotels are filled, not with runners, but with people in New York whose lights are out, and we need places to stay. I say postpone the marathon until next week. Let us get our lives back. That's all.
They're not using the cops. They are bringing in volunteers. They're bringing in private contractors. So the volunteers will be
Those volunteers need to be helping people in need from this hurricane.
Yeah, but not all of them have the capacity to do that. I think this is going to tell the world, just like after 9/11, 7 weeks later, the marathon was run, and it sent a signal to the world that we will triumph. We can't hang up our sneakers right now.
Should we just make it 7 weeks from now, then?
Yeah.
I mean, Sandy just happened.
It's
okay,
too cold.
Let's go. We could talk all day, but we have another story. Okay. Earlier this week, we talked on Hot Topics. I was telling you that last Saturday night, Kelsey Grammer and his wife, Kate, brought their 3.5-month-old baby, Faith, to the annual Halloween bash at Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion. They said they couldn't find a sitter and they don't trust all kind of people. And Kate is still lactating, and so there they go, the three of them, to this party. Are we okay with this, Gary? You're a father.
No, but if it was a boy, yes. You don't take your daughter to that. You take your son to the Playboy Mansion.
No, poor Lodi. She just went there because she has to keep an eye on Kelsey because she's insecure about him.
Well,
Wait a second. Wait a second. I breastfed both of my kids, and there's something called a pump.
Yes.
I had an industrial-sized pump. She could have pumped the milk out of her breast, stuck that breast milk in the refrigerator, and gone to the party without the newborn at a
There's
party.
also something
Period.
called a hot tub.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, when you've got an infant, you're not going to be doing those strange things in the hot tub. So it really killed the party. I mean, it was just
I
like...
know, exactly. I didn't even think about the other party goers. Exactly. Baby at a party.
How do we know it wasn't a buffer, though? Because if the baby's not there, she's with Kelsey the whole time. You got to feed the baby. I'll go here and talk to Hugh.
You know, as a mother, I do have to say that, you know, on the side of the grammars, at 3 months old, the baby's not going to remember anything. You can take them almost any place. But this was just, to me, an exercise in poor judgment because you don't know what kind of funky people are up in the Playboy Mansion drinking and cavorting and carrying on. And there will be another party another time. You all didn't have to go to the party. And P.S., save the story about how there's no babysitter, because I know that somewhere in that house, Kelsey, you have at least 6 assistants. One of them could have eyeballed the baby at your house.
Wendy, it does have an impact, even if it's a young child. When I was a kid, my parents took me to a lot of cocktail parties. They threw me in with the fur coats. I became an alcoholic and an animal rights activist. Now I'm 17 years sober. But when I was a kid, I would walk around and drink the ends of the drinks.
Yeah, there's something to be said for bringing kids to adult parties. We've all been there, I guess, at one time or another, but not at 3 months old having, you know, some bunnies with big boobies watching your child on a funky spunk rug. Okay, so our next story is about the actress Jessica Biel. She married Justin Timberlake last week. She just announced that she will be changing her surname to Timberlake, so it'll be Jessica Timberlake. So I'm going to go first on this one. Nice. I am a modern woman. I believe in all the things modern women believe in. I wish that prior to having this talk show, I would have been the Wendy Hunter Show. Unfortunately, I did 25 years of radio, and I had to go on my record of my familiar surname in order to gain popularity with this. But in my personal life, I am Wendy Hunter, and that's the way it is. And it's seamless. When my kid, also because he's black, you know, it's nice to represent. Everybody's got to say Hunter, Hunter, Hunter. You know what I mean? When we go to the school, when his friends come over, I just feel like it's more cohesive, like we are family. And I still feel like a modern woman. And I do wish this was the Wendy Hunter Show, but...
Yeah. How about this? Justin Biel. That's what I would have liked. Justin Biel!
No.
I think
serious, man.
too many women are not taking on last names because they're married to their careers.
Please.
Please, be quiet about your career. No one
Shut
cares
up.
what you do.
But
wait a second.
It's about your identity. It's the 21st century. Why should we kowtow to men?
I just got married for the 2nd time. I wish I could change...
Is his last name Flicker?
No, his last name is Campanella, and I can't take on his last name because I have to be where my kids are. My kids are Flickers, I'm a Flicker. But if I didn't have my children...
Gary's a Flicker, too.
If
I
you
think
had
she
kept
keeps
your
it.
original name the whole time, you wouldn't have that problem.
That's right, but they don't have kids, so good for her
Yeah,
for
they don't have-
showing
But
me
now they got
that.
the same initials, too. JT squared. It's a new power couple. You get it?
Well, listen, you know, in the acting world, this Biel thing hasn't been working for us so tough. Sorry, Jess, just calling it the way I see it. You might be better off professionally if you are a Timberlake, because then people will start hiring you for jobs and we'll start taking you seriously as an
You
actress.
should, but
Just saying.
I like that.
How about Jessica Biel Timberlake? What about a hyphen?
There's
I'm a
nothing-
hyphen.
No,
there's
my
nothing
wife
to be a
does
hyphen,
that. I don't
too.
like it. I wish she was just... And I have a great last initial, too. It's O, you know?
Yeah.
So we were going to name our daughter Heather, but her initials would have been Ho, so we had to name her Kennedy. Because if we named her Heather, then she's at the Playboy Mansion with Kirsty Grammer's daughter, and then it's all to hell after that, you know?
71% of our Wendy viewers at wendyshow.com say women should take their husband's last name. 29% of you all said, hell no. Welcome to the new century. Okay. So our last story for today's panel, with today's struggling economy, a growing number of people are relying on coupons to wine and dine their first date. It is a growing trend. The question for the panel, is it acceptable or not? Siggy?
That is so Doritos and Cheetos. It's cheesy, cheesy, cheesy. Now, I understand that we have the economy. We're not doing well. You don't have to take a date to Cipriani, Il Molino's, or Scalinatella's. It is acceptable
Those
to
are
take
high-class places in New York.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it is
That was
acceptable if you don't have the money. Go to Outback. Go to TGI Fridays. Go to Bennigan's. It's not about the money.
Those
it's
are the
about
places with the best coupons.
Right, but no, but yeah, but don't take him out right away. Wait till 3 months later. First impression. This is the time to make a first impression. You don't sit there and say, okay, here, wait. No, I would be running for the hills.
I would rather. All right, Gary, you go.
Well, it's case by case. If you're with the girl, it's a first date, you realize she's not coming back to your place, it's not going down, whip out the coupon, you know?
Man.
Now, if you feel like, oh, you are going to come back, I'm going to pay full price. Go ahead and get another appetizer, baby. It's on me.
Jane, what do you say?
I say, check, please, and I'm out of there.
You are?
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, here's the thing. It's a lack of respect. If you don't have money, do something creative. Take a walk in the park. Make a picnic. There's many other ways to show love other than money.
That is true. The coupons do show a lack of creativity. However, you know, they did this story on the news like last week, and my husband and I both agreed together. I was like, I heard him from the bathroom. I was brushing my teeth. I said, really? I would still go out with you if you pulled out coupons. And he said, and why would that matter anyway? So we both agree in our house that coupons are acceptable. And if you can't accept the real me from the first date, then perhaps there won't be a third time for you to whip out the coupons. That's all I'm saying. That's all. I am sweating. I'm so hot. This was a really nice discussion. The panel, thank you so much, very much, panelists Jane and Gary and Siggy. Thank you so much. For more information on our panelists, go to wendyshow.com. Up next, it's time for a Wendy Viewer Celebrity Lookalikes, and it's good. Keep it here.